secondary, what happens is it destroys the R1 lock. And the same amount of energy you're using on the secondary.
Give me 1 second, David. Mike.
This call may be monitored or recorded.
Hey, Mike, man, I was on the phone with another political prisoner, but I think I lost him, so it's all you now, brother.
Well, I can call back.
No. Go ahead. Let me share some things with you, and then if he calls back, maybe you can call me tonight. It's been kind of absolutely hectic. We got one guy that was shot twice in the head and twice in the chest, and we're getting his discovery evidence, and we've been putting it out to expose the cops who shot him. But let me see. I have not heard from Pat. There is a lady, I think I already told you about her. She's a school teacher, and she's mailing you what you asked for regarding your case. I have not heard from Sue today. And I think I told you already that if I try to call your jail, that sometimes they'll tell you and sometimes they won't. But I don't think there's anything massive that's changed from last night, unless I'm just... It's been so crazy today, Mike. From the time I woke up, man, this phone won't stop ringing because there's so much injustices and political prisoners. But I did send your message to Daniel Brigman, and I created a video with your appeal to Daniel Brigman and other talk show radio hosts to talk about what's important. Whether they respond or not, I cannot say. But from my perspective, there does appear to be a large awakening of people that realize that there are a tremendous amount of political prisoners in America, and we have a huge unjustly incarcerated population.
Is there any way to verify that Pat has money on her account? Way to see what's on her account?
I can't view the balance, but like I said last night, I tell you, man, since I woke up, this phone, and I've already put out like so many videos, I will call your mother this evening and tell her about Western Union, because I know that if she uses Western Union, there will be money on her account by tomorrow.
Okay. I was just trying to see if there, I didn't know if there's any way to even verify if she's even got any money. I know you said you called Alabama, and the guy said something like she had minutes on her account.
Well, yeah, I asked him. I said, I haven't heard from her. It's been a week, and I'm very concerned that she may not have money on her phone account. And his response to me was, that's not the issue. They get free minutes when they get here. So whether that's true or not, this guy could have been, just, BSing me. But
I'll put it to you like this. When I was locked up in the LCC prison in Lincoln, I was a safekeep for a jail, but they were holding me in a state prison. They had phones there, but they wouldn't tell you how to use them. And unless you knew the codes on how to use them, it doesn't matter if you had money on an account or not. You're not using them.
Yeah.
So these prisons are notorious. The jails are notorious for not giving you access to phones if they don't want you to have access to the phone. And, when I was locked up for a month there a year ago, they didn't want me to have access to a phone. I hate to even ask you. I know you're just overwhelmed, so
Well, go ahead and ask. If I can't do it, maybe somebody that's listening can. But I got to tell you, Mike, it really... I could sit here, I literally could sit here and list off probably 20 to 30 different names of people that have been shot, attempted murdered, unjustly incarcerated, in prison for 20 years. Two people have been in prison 34 years. Families have abandoned them. The Southern Poverty Law Center has written articles calling them domestic terrorists. It's absolutely insanity, and all of them have like things they need done. And my concern, and just to be very honest with you, I'm just one guy, and my specialty, where I really excel, is I take the message of the prisoner and put it out onto YouTube, and somebody else answers the request. That's really where I do excel. But what's happened recently, Mike, is that the prisons have started to see how that's working really, really well, and certain prisoners can't talk to me anymore.
Well, people, I ask you to step up, help out Mr. Rudy. If you can financially, send him a few dollars. Do whatever you can, because he helps so many people, and this is a ministry that is desperately needed.
No, Mike, hey, brother, I appreciate that. And but let me ask you this. Is what you were going to ask me, because I bet I know where you're going. You want me to put a few dollars on on Pat's account through Western Union. If that's it, I can do that, brother. That's not a problem.
Well, what I was gonna say is that I've got some money on my account still. My mom put $100 on there a couple of weeks ago, or whatever, and I've still got $40, and I'll send you $20 if whatever, minus the fees and everything. That might get her $10 on an account. At least that way she'll have some money on her account if she doesn't have it, and she'll have that so she can try to make a phone call.
Hey, brother, consider it done by tonight. Assuming that some massive thing doesn't stop me, we will have it done by the time I go to bed tonight. She will have money, at least $20 on her account before I go to bed. I guarantee you that we can make that happen.
I'll get them to cut the check for you and have it go out.
No, Mike. Hey, brother. We'll settle up when we get to heaven and we're all surrounding the campfire in glory, singing praises to the Lord. Don't worry about it, brother. You're on the front lines, and I know you're the type of man who doesn't. I know you're self-sufficient and you're very independent, and I can't imagine what you've gone through. Don't worry about it. I can handle it. It's not an issue. So we'll take care of that.
If you're the type of person that likes to do everything. I don't ask people for help. I don't ask for nothing. If you've seen pictures of my house, you're looking at what I did by myself. I dug the hole. I put in the basement by myself. I had my son helping me float the concrete. I put in the septic system by myself. I hired one guy to help me frame the house. And you see how big that house is.
Yep. No, I understand. Hey, I saw how big it was, and I was very impressed with your abilities, and it broke my heart that you weren't there to take care of it for your wife. Let me share this with you while you're talking, because it just dawned on me. There's so many things. There was somebody, you know Mel, you talked to her, right? You called her and talked to her on the phone. I don't forget if it's Mel or Mary, but
Mary.
Okay, she's been looking for your wife's case in Pacer, and she said she has not been able to find it, and it's really confusing to her because she really believes your wife should have a case in Pacer, and she has not been able to find the case number, and she almost called it almost like a kidnapping of your wife, which I don't doubt at all, but she's having a hard time finding the case number of your wife.
Well, and here's the thing. Pat went down there Monday, the week ago, on the 19th, and she filed a petition that I created, basically to dismiss the whole matter, citing that Pat has not only diplomatic immunity, but the fact is they didn't even follow the rules of court. They were supposed to have her on the record explaining what she did to even determine did she actually even do what they said that she did, and if what she said that she did doesn't even match the elements of the charge, which she didn't do anything. I mean, they came out and asked her for a vehicle, and they took her old $500 truck. Did she solicit anyone? No. Did she offer anything? No. They came to her saying, we're trying to get your husband moved up to Canada, and we need money. And she said, I don't have any money. They said, well, have you got anything that we can take? We hear through Sue Holland that you've got an old Corvette. She said, yeah, my husband's old Corvette has been parked for 10 years, and they came out there, they couldn't get to it. And then they said, well, what about this old truck? Her old truck that she first bought right out of college, first vehicle, and it's sitting there, and she gave it to them because they asked for it to help me, not to kidnap anybody. You're not going to kidnap anybody with a $500 truck. Come on.
Yeah, I agree. This whole thing, the thing is, as bad as your case sounds and as bad as the FBI is, and it's just they do this. This has become a common thing for them. They are that wicked, and it's become really atrocious to their behavior to entrap people that are on their target list. It really has gotten that bad.
Could you contact the people in Alabama and ask them if she can get a self-addressed stamped envelope? If I send her an envelope, now it's not really a stamp. It's a printed stamp. It's a pre-printed, postage-paid envelope, so it's not a stamp that can peel off. If you could ask them, if you have time, because I've already sent her 2 letters and I've gotten no response, and I'm concerned that nobody's heard from her.
Yeah, I understand, brother. I'm going to put money on her account, and I'll let you know as soon as I hear something. Here's what Mel said. Okay, she said, I did get the package of legal mail out to Mike Parsons, and it said with the latest filing of Michael Howard Reed. Here is a photo of him and his Bonnie and his mom. This is Michael Howard Reed, who has a very similar case to you. He is in Safford, S-A-F-F-O-R-D, Arizona, low security camp. He is also a U.S. Army veteran of the Delaware and Cherokee tribes. Tell Michael Parsons that Patricia's case is not on PACER. I looked as he requested. She is listed on Bureau of Prisons, but not PACER. I don't mind to pull PACER docs if need be. I am just limited on the printer ink cost, which is very confusing to me. It just does not compute. There has to be a case to kidnap a woman. This is all such a nightmare, and we all need each other's caring and kindness. It looks to me like the feds are holding him while they are building on his case. The persecuting attorneys, let us pray that it will be dismissed and thrown out for both Mike and Patricia. It has been such a nightmare for my Michael, the other guy's name is Michael too, and family and loved ones. He was so productive and smart and kind. And then she goes on to talk about she's grateful for you, but she thinks they're holding you to continue to build a case on you. And this other guy has been in prison over 9 years.
Yep. Yeah, they won't let me out for anything. I've tried to get a release on my own recognizance or a bond, and they say that I am a threat to the community and a danger to the community and a flight risk and everything else. It's like, well, what do you base that on? Well, we just say it. It's not that they base it on anything. It's just that they say it, and so it is. They're like magicians. They view themselves as gods. I know that's hard to grasp, but they literally view themselves as God. That's lesser magic. It's sorcery. They're practicing sorcery right in front of our eyes, and because we're not Luciferian, we don't get it.
Yeah.
But that's what they're doing, folks. Also, is there any way to ask the people in Aliceville if they have a policy against inmate-to-inmate mail? Because one of the guards here said it could be that you mailed the letter from here, and they're not going to give it to her because it's inmate to inmate, even though you're her husband.
Yeah, I can call. I can call Aliceville and ask them that, and try to have an answer next time you call, Mike. Not a problem.
Okay.
But you're right. I often hear that is a problem, that you can't have inmate to inmate mail. That they mention that a lot, so that wouldn't surprise me. But I will confirm it.
Yeah, I have no doubt that they're trying to build a case against me, and that's why I've been, pondering whether or not I should even testify at trial, because it doesn't matter what you say, they will twist it into something to make it fit into their puzzle of criminal mayhem so that they can accuse you of something else.
Yeah.
So here's the case. They called my wife, and they asked her for money to help transport me to Canada. And they twist that into her trying to kidnap a judge. Okay? Wrap your mind around that.
Yeah, Mike, there's been a book written about how the FBI does exactly what, and I know that sounds crazy what you just said, but there's a book called The Terror Factory, how the FBI manufactures terror in the United States, and it's written by a guy by the name of Trevor Aronson, and it goes through example after example after example of the FBI just manufacturing cases on people that they've somehow got on their radar.
They are masters at solving crimes that they themselves created.
Yes, that's so right.
I mean, they just had a 25-year anniversary of the 1993 World Trade Center bombing, where they tried to blow the support base out from underneath it, and that was the friggin' FBI that gave the explosives to the people to do the deed.
Yeah.
And they couldn't figure out how to ignite it, so the FBI agents went down there and lit the thing off. Remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah, the FBI had their hands in that. Most people don't know that.
Yeah.
Most people have forgotten about the 1993 World Trade Center bombing. That was a setup by the FBI.
I have no doubt about it. I think the FBI is one of the most wicked organizations in the history of the world, with maybe the exception of the Federal Reserve.
Well, I think they're working hand in hand. I think the FBI is the Gestapo for the criminal syndicate that's trying to run this country and the rest of the world. And people got to stop watching sports and wake up. All these distractions that's the Colosseum in Rome to distract you from what they're really doing, which is destroying your lives and control.
Okay, it cut him off, and we lost a phone call with David Hinkson, but Please keep Mike in your prayers, and please write him a letter, and also write Pat a letter and write Sue a letter. And if you want to go to Year of Jubilee with 1 E, we got a whole lot more letters you could write. Thank you for your time.